Good morning, Tottenham fans. Tottenham have their biggest game of the season by far in the Europa League at home to AZ Alkmaar. Now, I've seen so many Spurs fans have given up on this Europa League already, and you do not need to have that mindset just yet. I'm pretty confident we're going to be going through to the quarterfinals. There's a lot of things Spurs are doing wrong at the moment. There's a lot of reason why some of these things are not going our way at the moment. And I just want to point out what we're doing wrong, what we should be doing to fix it, and tell you why it's quite an easy fix, to be honest. And Spurs could be in an upward trajectory. I can never say that word, but they're going to be moving forwards in the next few weeks if they can just get over this little bit of confidence. So the first thing I'm going to point out is just they've obviously we had all these injuries. Let's just address this. Injuries matter, especially the volume of injuries we've had. But this doesn't mean that we've got this doesn't just mean we've not got available players. This means the players that are available have to play twice as much in 4 competitions, which also affected their form, which also affected their confidence. Now, that doesn't just go away when all the players come back. Your confidence of the players that were already playing doesn't just rise because the other players are back. So you could tell in the Bournemouth game the confidence levels were very low, and what didn't help was Romero giving the ball away in the first 45 seconds. That in turn made the whole back 4 jittery, the goalkeeper jittery, and the midfielders wasn't sure what was going on. There was no cohesion, and you're not going to get cohesion because all these players are not playing together week in, week out. It's always a different midfield or a different centre-back pairing, different front three. It's always changing, and there's no consistency to cause this cohesion. Also, our pressing, we're not pressing together. We're not pressing as a team. We're pressing one by one. We're not. There's like triggers to presses as well, and we're not hitting all those triggers at the moment at the same time. So normally, if you had your first 11 playing together week in, week out, you'd know that if Sonny pressed, then Kula would press, for example. Odegaard would press, and then the midfield would press behind them. Then the defence would press behind them. There'd be a trigger person to start that all off. But at the moment, there's no cohesion, so that is not working. So another aspect that's not working out at the moment is our passing, and again that comes down to the confidence. When you're going into position to start an attack from the goalkeeper, so you play it out to your back 4. If the back 4 are not in the correct position because they're in a way not wanting the ball because their confidence is a bit low, then they're getting the ball. Then they're rushing the pass out into the midfield. The midfield are not ready for it because the midfield are trained to receive it in a certain area. They're playing it into a different area. The midfield has to adjust, and then they're getting tackled, but especially by someone like Bournemouth with a high press. Alkmaar will high press this too. So get your passing a bit more crisper. This will then increase your confidence. Then, if we lose the ball, press as a team. So these are easy fixes, and it sounds simple in football layman's terms. It does sound simple, but if we play Alkmaar on Thursday and we're all pressing, remember at the beginning of the season when Spurs were relentless at pressing, we were winning the ball back in the final third more times than any other team. We was relentless in midfield, constantly hounding and winning the ball back. The attacks were starting from defence, passing out from the back, really quick, sharp 1-2s. We know we can do all of that. It's just, will we do that against Alkmaar? And I think we will. It's really good to have Romero back, but he was very rusty. It was good to get that out of the way, all those mistakes out of the way against Bournemouth, ready for the game against Alkmaar. Then you've got Van der Ven, who I think will start against Alkmaar, and he looked very, very good when he came on. Very quick, very sharp. Started running at them as well. He's a good ball carrier. Romero's a good ball carrier. If Romero didn't play and Danso played, Danso's a good ball carrier. Odegaard's a good ball carrier. Maddison, you see. And then once we build a bit of confidence, we need to start fast. That's what I'm saying. We need to start fast and confidence, and the fans need to get behind them from minute 1 to minute 90. Even if things start going wrong, stay behind your team, because the minute Romero lost the ball against Bournemouth, the fans became nervous, and rightly so. And they were worried from the off. They went very quiet, and it was it wasn't the usual fans that we get at home. We need us all to get behind the side, regardless if you're Ange in, Ange out. I do not give a crap about that at the moment. All I care about is Spurs getting through to the Europa League quarterfinals, and we build from there. We came back from Bournemouth and drew 2-2, but the crowd were so. Normally, if you're 2-0 down, you come back to 2-2, especially against a good team like Bournemouth. Normally, people are happy, but because they weren't happy with the performance, then they wasn't happy. I just think it's a good indicator that we didn't give up and we kept pushing. And, I saw glimpses of very, very good football from us. It was just that every time we did start hitting our stride, Bournemouth countered us, and it just ruined the whole thing completely. If we press as a team, we need to be very, very clinical with our passing. We cannot be doing multiple sloppy passing to each other. We need to be open. We need to want it. Like when Bergvall came on in the second half, he kept calling for the ball. He wanted the ball. He didn't hide. His passing was crisp. His tackling was hard. He had everything you need in the midfielder, and he's only just turned 19. Why is Bentancur and Basuma not doing this? I don't know, but they need to step it up. They're the experienced players. They need to now have better passing, better pressing, better tackling. We need to be solid in that middle. We've been open in that middle for far too long now, and with players coming back, getting match fit, and that's another thing. We need to get our players match fit. There's a difference between coming back from 3 months out to being match fit. There's a huge, huge difference, and you can see the rustiness on people like Romero. So we have to have a little bit more patience. I know it's very hard to say have some patience because this season's been terrible, but you have to take into account what injuries do to your club. It's not just missing players, like I said earlier. It's not just that the players that are available have to play every single game. It's also, it can knock your confidence when you're tired and you're fatigued and you're putting in poor performances. Sometimes it's hard to drag yourself away from that and realise the only reason why I was having poor performances because they were knackered. I can see the cohesion will come back. I saw a glimpse of it against Bournemouth. We've only lost one in the last 5 Premier League games now, so it's starting to come together. We need to make sure we don't get any more injuries. We need to make sure cohesion's better, passing's better, tackling's better. We're not so open in the midfield, and we need to, if we have to, counter fast. We can win this game if we're on top of our game and we're playing Ange ball, if you want to call it that, and we're relentless attacking against Alkmaar. It's nice to have Solanke back as well because he really helps up front. The ball just sticks to him. If we can just play the way we play, we should win this very comfortably. I'm predicting a 3-1 or a 3-0 win to Spurs. Get the crowd behind us, start fast, start hard, score an early goal. The jitters will go through Alkmaar. We will dominate them and we will win this game. There's lots of things that are going wrong at Spurs at the moment, but these are easy fixes. Passing is simple. You do it every day in training. Pressing is simple. You do it every day in training. You just need to do this as a team, and they will win. If you don't do any of the things I said today, we will be going out because Alkmaar will punish us. We need to be on top of our game in the biggest game of our season so far. Let me know in the comments what predictions have you got for the game. What's your score predictions? Thank you for watching and come on you Spurs.